Afternoon, evening, welcome. How you doing? Just thought I'd dabble at another quiz for St. Patrick's Day before I forget how to do this. You're all very welcome on YouTube, Facebook, and preferably on the website where we have a live chat. So how are you all doing? Good? I know we're broadcasting simultaneously with the French against Scotland. Hard to cater for every eventuality, but all good. Hey, Paddy. Hey, Joe in London. Hey, Billy flying solo. Paul, Eileen, good to have you. You're all very welcome. So, on St. Patrick's weekend, we've got a St. Patrick's theme quiz. So what have we got in store for you this evening? We have some famous Patricks, some famous Irish people, some famous points, famous nicknames. You will notice that everything is famous here. We don't do obscure stuff. We've got a full, hey, Brian and Sheila, Richard and Denise. Great. Hey, Keith. Good to see you all. Well, you can see me. And Vanessa and Stephen. Blast from the past with France, Scotland in the balance, in the background. Full course of connections. Then we have a picture round of some hopefully famous Irish people, and then we'll finish with famous shapes, numbers, palindromes, same spelt backwards as forwards, and some European countries. All good. All a bit rusty on this end, but at least the technology seems to be working. The turnips. There's a turnip for the book. You're all very welcome. So I'll keep a close eye on the chat on the website, and I'll also try and keep an eye on Facebook Live, preferably on the website, so I just have to look in one place. 2 ticks, guys, and we'll be ready. And if you're watching tomorrow on playback, have a good Sunday. Okay. No mention of the rugby. Okay, round 1. 3 famous Patricks on St. Patrick's weekend. Famous Patrick number 1. Dance instructor Johnny Castle. Dirty Dancing is your famous Patrick number 1. Dance instructor Johnny Castle. Dirty Dancing. Famous Patrick number 1. Oh, the golden rule. Apart from cheating. But you don't do that. You're too smart. No answers on the feed. You know the drill. Famous Patrick number 2. Open champion golfer 2007-2008 is your famous Patrick number 2. Open champion golfer 07 and 08. There'll be the odd tricky one. Andrea Sunday. Crook Patrick, the county please of this famous Irish Patrick. Crook Patrick, the mountain, the county please is your famous Patrick number 3. Glenravel Gurriers, you're very welcome. Simultaneous broadcast between Glenravel and Belfast. I'm impressed. Famous Irish people, 4, 5 and 6. Famous Irish person number 1. Your clues: Nimrod expedition, endurance sailing vessel. Nimrod expedition and the endurance sailing vessel is your famous Irish person number 1. Or question 4. Famous Irish person number 2. Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels. Famous Irish person 2. Tricky. Famous Irish person number 3. The father of modern chemistry. Father of modern chemistry. Famous Irish person number 3. Oh, and feel free to donate to our nominated charity, St Vincent de Paul. Go to the website, go to donate, and there's a basket for St Vincent de Paul. Thank you in advance. 7, 8 and 9. 3 famous points. 3 famous points. Famous point number 1. The United States Military Academy is your famous point number 1. The United States Military Academy. Hey Team Dev, welcome to the website. Famous point number 2. 40-40 in tennis is called what? 40 points, 40 points. 40-40 is called what in tennis? Famous points number 2. Famous points number 3. The Star of David. How many points on the Star of David? How many points? Star of David. Okie dokie. Pace okay, and don't worry, we'll do a full recap at the end of each round and in writing. And your final bunch of 3. 3 famous nicknames. The fastest man on no legs. The fastest man on no legs. Famous nickname. Who's that? Number 1. The fastest man on no legs. The Flucky Flyers. Good evening, Flucky Flyers. I'll say that when I'm sober. The fastest man on no legs. Famous nickname 2. The Big Easy. The Big Easy. Where's that? Famous nickname number 2. The Big Easy. And your final famous nickname, the Peanut Farmer. Who's that? The Peanut Farmer, famous nickname number 3. Okay. Let's recap on round number 1. We had your 3 famous Patricks, 3 famous Irish people, 3 famous points, and your 3 famous nicknames. I'll give you a few moments to tidy up round 1. And then, after a few moments, we'll give you the answers. Take your time. Okay, dokie. Well, how did you get on? Well, let's find out, shall we? So your answers to round one. Your Patrick Swayze, Patrick Harrington. Did you get County Mayo, Ernest Shackleton, Jonathan Swift, Robert Boyle? Tricky Irish people perhaps. West Point, the US Military Academy. Just 40-40 in tennis. 6 points on the Star of David. Oscar Pistorius, the fastest man on no legs. The Big Easy, New Orleans. And President Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer. So out of 12, how did you get on? Just post your scores on the feed. Glenravel Gurriers off to a flyer on 12. Lionel Richtees on 10. Comfortably Dumb on 11. Mountain Pungs, Hey Joe on 10 in London. The Richmonds on 10. The Macjacks flying solo on 9. Paul and Eileen on 10. Brian and Sheila, Google Free on 11. The Flucky Flyers, always slow starters, get strong at the end, but a solid 6. And Vanessa and Stephen Houston, no problem, maxing out on 12. And the Turnips on 7. Good scoring, guys. That's round 1. Oh, Richard and Denise on 9. Team Dev on 12. Really good scoring, guys. Round 2. Connections. A full course of connections. You know the drill. You get 3 bits of random information. You join the dots and you figure out what connects. Tricky, I suspect. I think this is a tricky bunch of connections, but you're a smart bunch. Connection number 1. What connects? What connects a lodge with a craftsman associated with brick, with the only member of Pink Floyd featured on every album? Is your connection number 1 a lodge, a craftsman associated with brick, and the only member of Pink Floyd featured on every album? Is your what connects number 1? Behave. Connection number 2. What connects? What connects the NATO phonetic alphabet with the winner in a contest, with the chief protagonist in a Mary Shelley 1818 novel. Wow. So the protagonist in Mary Shelley's 1818 novel, the winner in a contest, and the NATO phonetic alphabet is your what connects. Number 2. What connects? Number 3. What connects a tennis court with Muhammad Ali and a shooting sport? A shooting sport, Muhammad Ali, and a tennis court. Connection 3. Connection 4. What connects? What connects the actor Noah Weil, Tutankhamun's tomb, and Johnny Cash? Is your kind of out there obtuse connection 4. Johnny Cash, Tutankhamun's tomb, and the actor Noah Weil is your connection 4. Told you they were tricky. Connection 5. What connects? What connects the Democratic presidential nominee in 2004 with an Irish county and Atomic Kitten? Atomic Kitten, an Irish county, and the Democratic presidential nominee 2004. Connection 5. Connection 6. What connects? What connects Tom Clancy with a Steven Spielberg epic war movie and Europe's busiest airline? Europe's busiest airline, a Steven Spielberg epic war film, and Tom Clancy is your connection 6. Connection 7. What connects? What connects Richard Branson with olive oil with a Caribbean archipelago? So your Caribbean archipelago, olive oil, Richard Branson. Connection 7. Connection number 8. What connects? What connects a canal? Sticking with the theme this evening, well, live at the moment, rugby, second row in rugby, a canal, and 8 out of 10 cats. The show. 8 out of 10 cats, a rugby second row, and a canal. Connection 8. Douglas Clan with the Yorkshire contingent 9 out of 12 in round 1. Thanks, Douglas Clan, for your private message. Connection 9. What connects? What connects the $6 million man with the youngest US Open women's single champion with the capital of Texas? The capital of Texas, the youngest US Open women's singles champion, and the $6 million man. Connection 9. Three to go. Connection number 10. What connects the NHL with Laurel and Hardy and a utility knife? A utility knife, Laurel and Hardy, and the NHL is your connection 10. Final two, home straight on connections. Your penultimate one. What connects a natural number, Amazon, and a rate of interest? A rate of interest, Amazon, and a natural number is your connection 11. And your final connection in tonight's St. Patrick's Day weekend quizzy quiz for Quizzers quiz. What connects an American television and medium conglomerate, an English romantic painter, and Anna May Bullock? Who? Anna May Bullock, an English romantic painter and an American television and medium conglomerate. Wow. So let's recap, shall we, on your 12 connections. So, take your time. Tidy those 12 connections. Some trickier than others. And we'll be back to you in a few moments. Well, how did you get on your 12 connections? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Here's your answers to your 12 connections. Good luck. Written for you. So your Lodge, Craftsman, Pink Floyd, Nick Mason, Mason. Victor Frankenstein, Victor phonetic alphabet. Cassius, Clay, Clay pigeon shooting. Clay Court. Carter as in Howard. June and John. Kerry as in Katona. John and Irish County. Ryanair, Saving Private Ryan and Jack Ryan. Virgin Islands, Virgin Oil and the Virgin brand. Locke, as in Rugby Second Row Canal, and Sean Locke, 8 out of 10 cats, RIP. Steve Austin, Tracy Austin, Austin, Stan Laurel, Stanley Knife, Stanley Cup, Prime Number, Amazon Prime, Prime Rate. Turner, as in Tina, as in William, the artist, as in Ted Turner Communications. So your running total out of 24, please. Good scoring. So out of 24, the Mac Jacks on 21, superb. Lionel Richties 22, Richard and Denise 22, Comfortably Dumb on 22, Brian and Sheila on 19, Team Dev on 24, tearing it up. The Lucky Flyers, they get stronger in rounds 3 and 4, up to 14. Glenravel Gurriers on 24. Sean Locke was a genius. 22 out of 24. Hey Keith and the Richmonds, Houston No Problem on 21. The Mountain Pungs, Hey Joe on 20. Richard and Denise on 21. Paul and Eileen 18. The Turnips on 18. Good scoring, guys. You're doing ever so well. Let me see if I've got any other scores coming through on Facebook. Douglas Clan, Yorkshire Clan, up to 20. Thank you, Kevin. So, Sean Locke was a great second row. So that was us doing round 2. And after round 2, I'll do round 3. And round 3 is famous Irish people, a picture round of 12 famous Irish persons on St. Patrick's weekend. So 12 famous, I hope, Irish people. Did love Sean Locke. Okay, famous Irish person, number 1. Good luck. Good luck to me. Famous Irish person, number 1. Who's that? Famous Irish person, number 2. Who's that? Famous Irish person, number 3 on St. Patrick's weekend. Who's this? Famous Irish person, number 4. Who's this? Chickpeas on 21. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much. Hard to keep pace with all these different channels. We do our best. Famous Irish person, number 5. Who's this? I forgot, Bernie and 80 are playing also. They're on 21 out of 24. Elaine, out of practice, 15 out of 24. Different scores popping up all over the place. Good to see your names, guys. Hi, Bernie, 80. Hi, Elaine. Good to see you all. Well, you know what I mean. Famous Irish person, number 6. Who's that? Good to see the Eurowalls clan. Famous Irish person, number 7. Who's this? Famous Irish person, number 8. Who's that? Irish person, famous, number 9. Who's this? Number 10. Who's this? And 2 to go. Number 11. Who's this? I know there's a bit of a clue, but full name, please. And your final famous Irish person on St. Patrick's weekend, who's this? Let's do a quick fly through, if that's okay, on your 12 famous Irish people for St. Patrick's weekend. Number 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Number 6. 7. Number 8. 9. Number 10. 11. And finally, number 12. So you're 12 famous, hopefully, Irish people. Well, they are. But do you know them? 12 points available will take you to a running maximum total out of 36 at the end of round 3. So how did you get on? Well, I'm sure you got on splendidly. Here's your answers. Brendan Gleeson, Kieran Hines, Cillian Murphy, Colin Meaney, Conor McGregor, Enya, Gabriel Byrne, James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, Pat Jennings. Did you get Charlene Maudsley, one of our fantastic athletes, and Tony McAvoy? Tony McCoy. Out of 36, how are you getting on? So, Mac Jacks, well done. Billy, 32. Comfortably dumb in the coal pits, up to 34. Mountain Punch, hey Joe, on 31 out of 36. The Flucky Flyers, catching up fast on 25. Watch out the rest of you. Lionel Richtees on 32. Glenravel Gurriers, 36. Oh my word. Houston No Problem, 32. Paul and Eileen, 27. Brian and Sheila, Google free, of course. Douglas Clan, Partly in Yorkshire on 30. Brian and Sheila, I said, did I? On 28. Keith and the Richmonds on 32. So, Clanravel Gurriers, 36. The Turnips Well Done on 28. Team Dev on 35. 8P McCoy. Richard and Denise, 32. So Clanravel Gurriers at this stage, I think, are just in the lead. And they haven't dropped a point. Bernie and 80 on 33. And Elaine and the Eurowalls clan on 24. Let me see if there's any other scores coming through before we move on to our round 4, our final round. Oh, I think we're good. One of these days we'll get some cohesion on one platform and lots of smart technology, but that's not for this evening. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to donate on the website. Go to donate, and our chosen good cause is St Vincent de Paul, so feel free to throw a few shekels into the basket on the website. Go to donate and St Vincent de Paul. That would be an extra bonus for doing this. Okay, your final round. Final round. 3 famous shapes. 3 famous shapes. Famous shape number 1. The formal working place of the US President. The formal working space of the US President. Normally. Let's not get into that, shall we? The formal working space of the US President is your famous shape number 1. Famous shape. Number 2. Missing aircraft and ships disappearing in mysterious circumstances is your famous shape. Number 2. Missing aircraft and ships disappearing in mysterious circumstances is your famous shape. Number 2. Shapes as in squares and pentagons. Famous shape. Number 3. 66 degrees, 34 minutes north. 66 degrees, 34 minutes north is your famous shape. Number 3. Douglas Clan on 30 out of 36. Too much wine. Never, Kevin. No chance. 30 out of 36. I used to use that in the excuse. So there's your 3 famous shapes. The formal working space of the US President. Have one on me, Kev. Missing aircraft and ships disappearing in mysterious circumstances. And lastly, your famous shape number 3, 66 degrees, 34 minutes north. Famous numbers. 4, 5 and 6 in your too much wine. Great shape in the morning, Kevin. Be a great shape in the morning. says Paddy. Famous numbers. Maximum snooker break. Famous number. Number 1. Famous number. Number 2. pH neutral. pH number, but the neutral one. Famous number. Number 2. Aqua. Aqua sin gas. Senor. Aqua sin gas. We'll wait until the tune, shall we? Famous number. Number 3. Tricky. World War II separation of Korea. Something parallel. World War II separation of Korea. You know, the kind of North-South Korea peninsula. What parallel? Your famous tricky number 3. Berlin 80, up to 33 out of 36. Fabulous. And the Eurowalls clan catching up on 24. Pity we didn't have more rounds tonight, Elaine. Next time we will. Your penultimate section of three famous palindromes. Palindromes. Do you know what a palindrome is? Well, it's a word that's spelt the same ways backwards as forwards. Famous palindrome number 1. Middle of the day. Middle of the day is your famous palindrome. Backwards, forwards, spelt the same way. Number 1. Famous palindrome number 2. Used to address or refer to a woman in a polite way. Are you allowed to say that anymore? But anyway, in olden times, used to address or refer to a woman in a polite way. Is your famous palindrome number 2 a word spelt the same back ways as forward ways? And your final palindrome. Merci beaucoup. Your famous palindrome number 3. Relating to a city or a town, especially its administration. Relating to a city or a town, especially its administration. Is your famous palindrome a word spelled the same backwards as forwards? Number 3. You have done very well, considering you haven't done this for a while. You're less rusty than I am. And your final 3, or is it 4? Okay, your final 3 / well, it's definitely 3, but it might be 4. And if you get the controversial one, I'll give you 4. What am I talking about? I am talking about European countries beginning and ending with the letter A. Mange 2. European countries beginning and ending with the letter A. There's definitely 3, but in some quarters they include a 4th. So potentially, if you get the controversial one, which is kind of Western Asia? There's 4. Beginning and ending with the letter A. European countries, definitely 3. And if you get the controversial one in Western Asia, which is sometimes included, there's 4. So there you go. Your final bunch of 3 or 4 in tonight's quiz. European countries beginning and ending with the letter A. So, let's recap on your final round. Your famous shapes, famous numbers, famous palindromes, and your 3/4 European countries beginning and ending with the letter A. So in your last round, including the controversial one, the grey area one, very grey, there are 13 points available, which would give you a grand total in tonight's quiz, maximum available points of 49. Okay, guys. Your answers to your final round are, here we go. Let's get rid of the no answers on the feed. You're so well behaved in that. Nobody does that anymore. So, did you get the Oval Office? Did you get Bermuda Triangle? Did you get the Arctic Circle? Your maximum snooker break, 147. Your neutral pH number of 7. The 38th parallel. Middle of the day, palindrome number 1, noon, madam. Civic. And your European countries beginning and ending with the letter A. Definitely Albania, definitely Andorra, definitely Austria, and in some quarters, not mine, but did you get the Western Asia, Armenia? So, out of 49 points, post your scores on the feed. Billy, flying solo, Mac Jacks, 44. Kevin and the Douglas clan, mildly pissed with Vino on, what did you get? 43. Yorkshire clan would like to use the rhubarb triangle, 43 out of 49. Well done, Douglas clan. Thank you, Kevin. And see you shortly for some tunes, because you'll be in some form. Where was I? I got lost there with Kevin. 45 out of 49. Richard and Denise. Mac Jacks, 44. Said that. Paddy and Breeds in the coal pits, 45. Mountain Pungs. Hi Joe on 42. Brian and Sheila, Google free, awesome 40. Houston, no problem, 45. Paul and Eileen on 39. The Flucky Flyers, they are getting stronger. I told you on 32. Don't say I didn't warn you. Lionel Rich T's on 45. Keith, 44 out of 49. Glenravel Gurriers, 44. You dropped a point on the South Korea. Got Armenia. Happy days. Great quiz. Well done, Glenravel Gurriers. Flucky Flyers team disappeared, so a solo effort. Great scoring. So what does all that mean? I've got no clue. 45, Richard and Denise. 45, Paddy and Bridge. 45, Lionel Rich T's. Glenravel Gurriers on 48. Just maybe. Glenravel Gurriers. Maybe they have won tonight's quiz, and that means they could qualify for Europe. Bernie, 80, 44. Oh, great scoring, Bernie and 80. Ullin and the Eurowolves clan, 35. The rust will disappear. Team Dev on 47. I think that's there. I had Team Dev, then I didn't have Team Dev. Anyway, they went. So I think that Glenravel Couriers are tonight's champions, and that gets them into a European qualification spot. So it's been good. It's been good to be back and blow the cobwebs off my website and my pretty awful technical abilities. I still can't find Team Dev. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Donate if you can. Oh, Team Dev, 47. So Glenravel Gurriers go through to the European spot. Wonderful. Stay tuned for future broadcasts so I don't forget how to do this, because I love it so much, and it's great to see some team names from COVID era. That was weird. It's all a bit weird. Anyway, we'll see you soon, or you'll see me. Oh, and if you want to begin to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we're going to be playing some tunes on the website only. Thank you, Keith. Good to have you. Paul and Eileen, great to have you back. Great to be had. It's great to be had. Vanessa, Stephen, wonderful. So we'll be playing some tunes only on the website in about 10 minutes. So come back onto the website if you want to dance your way into St. Patrick's weekend. Website only, about 10 after 10, if you want some music, and guess the artist. And even if you don't, sure, tune in anyway. What else would you be doing? Adios. Have a super Sunday. Have a super St. Patrick's weekend. Bless you all. See you soon. Well, you'll see me. Adios.